Hi everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Just Good Games. So, I have relented and I am now going to do a tiered list. It's a massive YouTube thing, as you probably know. I'm like a bit behind the times, but I thought I would give it a go. And there's no better place to start than Nintendo Switch first party exclusives. Apparently all these down the bottom are first party exclusives. Some of them don't look like it, but there we go. I picked this list and it looks good. It has all the big hitters there. So let's crack on. Also, if you can hear something in the background, it's probably my washing machine. It's washing day, and so there you go. But I have to make this video. So let's crack on. Obviously, here are the tiers. You got just essential games, which would be a 10 out of 10 if I reviewed it. Just amazing games, which would be an 8.5 to 9 out of 10. Just good games, 7 to 8. Just okay games, 5 to 6, and then just rubbish games, 0 to 4.5. Obviously, I have reviewed some of these games, so you're pretty much going to know what the scores are if you see my review of this game, but if you haven't, then this will be a surprise for you. So, here we go, let's crack on. First one is Pokemon Sword and Shield, the first mainline Pokemon game on a sort of home console. Obviously the Switch is sort of a handheld console as well, so it works both ways. This was a good Pokemon game, didn't really change up the formula, it was a bit basic, it's just Pokemon. It was just the exact same as the handheld games, but transferred onto the Nintendo Switch, and it was bigged up a lot, and it should probably have been a bit better. It just, as I said, seemed like a handheld game put onto a mainline game. There was obviously less Pokemon in it than what people anticipated, and the battling system, it got a bit repetitive towards the end. So I think I gave it a 7 out of 10 on the reviews, and that's why I am going to stick it in Just Good Games, which is solid. Right. Next one, Luigis Mansion 3. An absolutely fantastic game which I've waited for a long time. I didn't actually play the second Luigi's Mansion. I love the first one, and I think there was like a 17-year gap between the first one and the third one. So it's been really anticipated. I thought the new puzzles, the use of Luigi was awesome. Just the level design was absolutely fantastic. Top tier Nintendo. Well, just below top tier Nintendo, as you'll see in a bit. It just there was so much craft and ingenuity in the level designs. Each level had a different theme. The bosses were fantastic. Luigi is a great protagonist, very underrated compared to Mario, and I loved it. So I gave this, I think, about a 9 out of 10. So this goes in Just Amazing Games. Another game which came out last year is now The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, the remake. An absolutely fantastic game again. Nintendo had so many good games last year, and there was this big four. Astral Chain's not on here, as I assume it was more platinum than Nintendo, because obviously Nintendo bailed Platinum out with some money, and that's why Bayonetta 2 is exclusive, but Bayonetta 2's down there, so I don't understand that a bit. But so no Astral Chain. But on to Zelda. One of the first 2D Zelda games I've actually played, because the 2D Zelda games were a bit before my time and I didn't have a handheld console. But what they've done is they just took all the goodness of the 2D games and put it on sort of a 2D/3D adventure. The combat's really good, the story's basic but good, and I just really enjoyed this. You can blast through it in about 20 hours, but that's a good solid game. I just think it was so superb. As I said, level design, Nintendo just innovates and just do things really cleverly. It's a bit of an old school game as well, as it doesn't really explain a lot to you and you have to figure out a lot for yourself. So definitely, and I think I reviewed this as well at about a 9.5 out of 10. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put that above Luigi's Mansion 3. So Fire Emblem, I believe it's Fire Emblem Three Houses. I had to look up the cover because I've not played this game. I've not played any Fire Emblem games. There's only a couple games here which I actually haven't played. So the ones which I've not played, I'm just going to go off what reviews said of it. And it got good reviews, sort of 7 and 8 area. So I'm not going to waste much time on this, and I'm going to put this in the Just Good Games section. So Marvel Ultimate Alliance 4 or 3. Can't see there, but anyway, I think it's number 3 actually. Yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Should have done my research really, but there you go. This was a massive, highly anticipated game, and apparently it didn't live up to the hype. I enjoy the first 2. I believe they were on PlayStation 2. I thought they were fantastic. This obviously didn't have as many heroes. Again, not as many heroes. Nintendo cutting back than they should have in there. But I thought it was solid. And I'm going to put that in again in the Just Good Games. I can't imagine it being a below 7 game. So, Super Mario Maker 2. Superb. Absolutely superb game. Just great level creator. And then just, you don't even have to create levels on this game because there's so many people who have made levels. Nintendo sort of included a story mode. This is absolutely fantastic. A really good concept. And just one of the best 2D Mario games. I would have definitely scored this if I reviewed it on the channel. I would definitely score this at a 9 out of 10. So this goes in the Just Amazing Games section. Like the Just Essential Games really is the top draw Nintendo games. So Yoshi's, I played the demo of this. I thought this was very cool. I thought this is Nintendo doing Nintendo at its most basic. It's just a by the numbers 2D adventure game. And to be honest, I think this deserves again to be in the Just Good Games. I don't think it deserves to be any lower than that. Probably would have gave it a 7 to 7.5 out of 10. I'm going to put it, that's about right where I'm going to put it. So yeah, Super Mario Deluxe. Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Obviously a remake. Is that actually on the Switch? I don't know, but we're going to do it anyway because I thought it was a Wii U game. And then, oh yeah, I can see the Switch things on there. They must have ported it to Switch because I played the Wii U version. I don't know what they've added for the Switch version, but I'm going by my experience of the Wii U version. I think this is a very, very good Mario 2D game. Just does what like Mario 2D games do. You know, it's just superb platforming, loads of different puzzles, you know, Mario puzzles to solve, and just a really, really solid 2D platforming game. And I'm going to put that in Just Amazing Games. It wouldn't got a 10, probably would have got an 8.5. So I'm going to put this below Mario Maker 2. So, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What can I say about this game? I know a lot of people say Melee is the best Smash Bros. Game. This to me is the best Smash Bros. Game. You get everything in it. The story mode is good. Like Solid Snake's back in this one, which makes me love it even more because I used to play as Solid Snake a lot in the one which had Solid Snake in, which I believe was the Wii one. But don't hold me to that. It's Smash Bros. It's just one of the ultimate Nintendo games. It's one of the biggest Nintendo franchises, and it has to be 10 out of 10. It has to be in Just Essential Games. So this is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. Very much modelled on, it's sort of a remake of Pokemon Yellow, mixed with the Pokemon Let's Go formula. It's sort of okay, like, if you like Pokemon, you'll find something to enjoy here, but I didn't think it was amazing. It's just, again, it's just that same Pokemon experience over again. I love Pokemon, but they need to change the games up a bit. So I'm just going to put this in a Just Okay Games. It probably would have got a 6 to 6.5 if I was reviewing it. Mario Party. Big fan of this franchise. Love the Nintendo 64 ones and the GameCube ones. I think Mario Party 5 is my favourite one. Obviously what you can do with the Switch, with the Joy-Cons, you got the motion, you got everything there. The minigame. And you just play the board game with the Mario characters to get stars. Very good, very fun when you've got people around. And that would be, it's on the 8 area, so I'm going to put this at the top of Just Good Games. Captain Toad's Adventure. I played this. This is obviously again a remake or remaster, and I played this on the Wii U. And I thought it was a nice little game, a nice game for Toad. It's like there was these levels on Super Mario Galaxy 2 where you could be Toad and you had to change your perspective, and they've obviously made an entire game out of that. Very good, very cool, very fun to play. Like Toad has very few games, so it was really good to see him get his time in the limelight. And you know what? Probably would have got an 8 out of 10. So I'm going to put this there. I think it's very good. See, nothing's in the rubbish at the moment because like Nintendo just make really good games. So Mario Tennis Aces. I have a bit of a soft spot for the Mario Tennis games. I think they're fantastic. This one is a bit repetitive and the controls a bit but very solid game, very like just if you like sports games, if you like tennis, you're going to like this. If you like Mario, you're going to get a bit there. I hope they make a new Mario football game, as I really like the Mario football game on the Wii. I thought that was fantastic. But we're talking about tennis now, and this would have got a 7 to 8 out of 10. And I'm going to put this I reckon it would have got a 7, so I'm going to put this just below Pokemon. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Haven't played a Xenoblade game, so again I'm going from reviews for this. Not really my bag. I think I'm just going to put this as just okay game, just based off of reviews. That's all I'm going on. Super Mario Odyssey. This is my favourite game on the Nintendo Switch, easily. I prefer it to Breath of the Wild, personally. I know that's a bit but I just love the proper Mario games. It's like one of the first games I ever played was Super Mario 64, and that continues the formula. It continues just what made Mario great. It innovates. Cappy is awesome. Superb. Not going to really go into spoilers, but the ending is fantastic and is just a proper Mario 3D game. It like follows in the footsteps of 64, Sunshine, Galaxy and Galaxy 2. It's the next one up. It's one of the best. This cannot get anything less than a 10 out of 10. My favourite Nintendo Switch game, easily. Splatoon 2. I know there's a lot of love for Splatoon. I've played Splatoon 1. I've played a bit of Splatoon 2. They're not 100% my bag, but I know they're massive. Like Splatoon is massive in Japan. I have a mate who really likes it, and I just think it's like obviously it's one of Nintendo's best new IPs in years. An absolutely fantastic game. The concept is really good with the ink. I think it's good, and I would give this definitely an 8.5 out of 10. So I'm putting this in just amazing games. ARMS. One of the launch titles on a Nintendo Switch. You could see what sort of Nintendo were doing with this, and I thought it was cool. It gets a bit repetitive, but it's very fun taking people online on this game. Very fun. ARMS, just almost like a cartoony boxing thing. So I'm going to give this, I would give it probably a 7.5 to 7 out of 10. So I'm going to put this there. I might have to move Pokemon down a bit like that. I think that's more solid there. Mario Kart 8 Ultimate. Again, another Nintendo Wii U remake, remaster on the Nintendo Switch. Absolutely fantastic. Mario Kart, this is the biggest selling Nintendo Switch game as well. Mario Kart is just like the top. It is the top tier Nintendo. I've played a lot of Mario Kart, so I haven't played this one as much, but it's still just that classic formula, classic Mario game. Every character you can think of, every course you can think of is in there. This cannot be below a 10 out of 10 game. I'm going to put it bottom of the Just Essential games, but if you own a Switch, you're going to own Super Mario Kart 8. So, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. If I don't put this in Just Essential games, there will be pitchforks out, there will be fires, I will be hunted down. And I'm glad to say that I love this game. It was a great reinvention of the Zelda franchise. I absolutely loved it. I'm looking forward to the sequel. There's just so much freedom in this game. There's just so much to do, and yes, I love my Zelda with dungeons, but I think it was the right time to do something different, to completely change the formula, because we'll get another Zelda game which is like proper dungeons and that soon, but just at the time this is exactly what it needed. A great launch title, has to be 10 out of 10, because this is a lot of people's like best game of that year, best game of the decade, best game of all time for some people. Some people think it's better than Ocarina of Time. If I was to rank it in Zeldas, it would probably be my 4th or 5th favourite Zelda, but that's just personal preference, so we're going to put that. Yeah, I'm going to have to put it there because they're the top two. They are the top two Nintendo Switch games, Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. It just had a great launch, didn't it? They were the two which launched Nintendo Switch and made it one of the biggest selling Nintendo consoles. 1-2 Switch. Like a bit of a demo for what the Switch can do. Not really that fun. I'm not a big fan of these games. Like they try to, it's almost like the Wii Sports of the Nintendo Switch, and it does what it does well, but I don't like it, so I'm going to put this in the 0. Just rubbish games. I'm going to put the 0 to 4.5. This is Mario versus the Rabbids, the Rabbids things, the Rayman things, and this was actually, when this was announced, people were like, oh, this is going to be rubbish, but actually it's pretty good. It's a pretty good party game. It's a bit like Mario Party except with added silliness, so I'm definitely going to put this in, like, it will get a 7 out of 10 definitely, so I'm going to put this at the bottom of Just Good Games. This is a Pokemon game, which I have no idea what it is. Should have done research on it, but I'm just going to put this in the Just Okay games, probably below Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Yeah, I don't know what that is really. This is Fire Emblem Warriors again. This is one of the ones which I have not played, and I don't know a lot about it, but judging from reviews, we're going to put this again at the top of Just Okay games. Or below Xenoblade Chronicles, as he doesn't want to move it there. This is Snappy Claps. Rubbish games. I've not played this. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. If this is really good, then I apologise. Platinum Games, one of my absolute favourite gaming companies. Platinum can do no wrong in my eyes. Bayonetta 2 is a fantastic game. It is definitely a 9 out of 10 game, even pushing 9.5. It is just the hack and slash. It's the best hack and slash game going of the modern era. Devil May Cry 5 came close, but this is fantastic. She is a great character. This goes just below Luigi's Mansion. That's a good place for it. Kirby, never really been a fan of Kirby's games, but this is an alright game. Again, another platformer. Nintendo just do platformers so well. Even like an okay Nintendo platformer is a good game. So I'm going to put this in Just Good Games, and I'm going to put this in the middle. Sounds about right. Dynasty Warriors, Hyrule Warriors. Like, I'm not a big fan of Dynasty Warriors games, but the Hyrule coat of painting makes this cool. It got alright reviews, a bit of a button masher, a bit fun. This goes in Just Okay games, and I can put this above Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so that's good. Donkey Kong Country, Big Freeze, or the Freeze one. I had this on the Wii U. This was fantastic. Very difficult game actually. A bit hard to get the hang of, but when you get it, it's fantastic. It's a great proper Donkey Kong Country game, and I would actually give this about an 8.5 out of 10, so I would put this in Just Amazing Games. And the final game is a game I have no idea what this is. This is Octopath Traveler or something, I can't really see it, and I'm just going to stick this in Just Rubbish Games as I've not heard of it, and if I ain't heard of it then it's probably not that good. So here is my list. Just Essential, well, we'll go from the bottom actually. So Just Rubbish Games is this Snappy Claps. If that's good, I apologise. Octopath, I think. Octopath? Yeah. Don't know if it's good, sorry, but I've not heard of it. 1-2 Switch, basic game. Just Good Games. Just Okay games. Hyrule Warriors. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Fire Emblem Warriors. Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu, Eevee, and some unknown Pokemon game. Sounds about right. Just Good Games, Mario Party, Captain Toad, Arm, Kirby, Fire Emblem, Three Houses, Yoshi, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Maybe that should be a bit higher actually. So that above Kirby. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and the Rabbids, Mario Raven Rabbids. Just Amazing Games, Donkey Kong Country, Ice Freeze, Ice Blast, something like that. Splatoon 2, Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. They always put Deluxe at the end, so you know it's got more than the Wii U game. Super Mario Maker 2, Bayonetta 2, Luigi's Mansion 3, The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening Remake. And then the top tier Nintendo games, Mario Kart 8 Ultima probably, Super Smash Bros. Ultima, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and then my favourite Nintendo Switch game, one of my favourite Nintendo games ever, Super Mario Odyssey. It also has some of the best theme music ever, Super Mario Odyssey. That is my list. That is first party Nintendo Switch games. You probably disagree with most of this, as everyone has their opinion. So this is the end of the video. This is the end of my first tier video. I will do a couple more in the future. So all you have to do now is like, share, subscribe. Definitely hit that subscribe. We're getting quite a few new subscribers recently. It's really appreciated, really nicely appreciated. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. We have a Patreon now, so check that out. You don't have to give, but just check it out. The podcast is up, the first episode. I'm working on the second episode. That should be next week. Should be out next week, but don't hold me to it. Thank you for watching again, and you have been watching Just Good Games.